Understanding primary and secondary sources, a narrative for doctoral students. As a doctoral student, your research journey hinges not only on what you study, but also how you engage with knowledge. This begins with understanding the distinction between primary and secondary sources, and knowing how to use them responsibly and rigorously. Why it matters. In doctoral research, your credibility as a scholar depends on your ability to work with original evidence, primary sources, while contextualizing it within existing scholarship, secondary sources. Confusing or misusing these can lead to weak arguments, flawed methodologies, and ethical pitfalls. Knowing the difference is foundational. What are primary sources? Primary sources are the original, uninterpreted evidence or data that form the basis of your research. They represent first-hand accounts, raw materials, or direct evidence related to your topic. Examples of primary sources. In qualitative research, interview transcripts, focus group discussions, field notes, participant observations. In historical research, archival documents, photographs, official records, personal letters. In scientific research, experimental data, lab results, data sets, technical reports. In creative arts, original artworks, scripts, compositions, performances. Why they matter. Primary sources allow you to generate original insights and make new contributions to knowledge. They are central to your findings chapter and serve as the bedrock for interpretation and theory application. What are secondary sources? Secondary sources are interpretations, critiques, analyses, or summaries of primary sources. They help you understand what has already been studied, debated, or theorized about your topic. Examples of secondary sources. Peer-reviewed journal articles that analyze previous research, books and book chapters discussing theories or reviewing evidence, systematic literature reviews or meta-analyses, commentaries, critiques, or theoretical syntheses. Why they matter. Secondary sources help you map the scholarly landscape, identify gaps, position your study, and build a robust literature review. They offer theoretical grounding and guide your conceptual decisions. Best practices for doctoral students. 1. Use both strategically. Primary sources should drive your data collection, analysis, and original contribution. Secondary sources should shape your literature review, theoretical framework, and background rationale. 2. Be clear and consistent. Always distinguish in your writing whether you're referring to a primary account, for example, according to participant A, or a secondary interpretation, for example, as argued by Smith in 2020. 3. Evaluate source credibility. Ensure your secondary sources are peer-reviewed, reputable, and current. For primary sources, ensure authenticity, relevance, and accuracy in data capture and representation. 4. Cite responsibly. When quoting or paraphrasing, clearly attribute your sources using proper academic conventions, APA, Harvard, etc. Distinguish between first-hand data you generated and published work you are building upon. 5. Ethical engagement. Treat primary sources, especially those involving human participants, with ethical sensitivity, consent, confidentiality, and cultural respect. Avoid plagiarism and misrepresentation when using secondary sources. Conclusion: mastering source work as a scholar. Mastering the use of primary and secondary sources is not just about academic compliance. It is about becoming a trustworthy, original, and rigorous scholar. When used appropriately, these sources empower you to generate new knowledge, challenge assumptions, and advance your field with integrity and insight. Happy learning!